after quitting the podcast, he essentially went into hiding and only emerged for the comedy sets he did on tour. But just recently, he actually showed face to promote some of his tour dates, and sadly enough, it appears that he may be Bert Kreischerifying himself in real time. I mean, he just looks drastically different. And a lot of people online speculate that he may be heavily drinking, eating, or both to cope with the fact that he quit one of the largest, most successful comedy podcasts in the world. All because his wife told him to. So
I just explained it to you. They're more interested in watching the downfall of your now husband that you caused. It seems as though the Akaash Singh saga is destined to continue forever at this point.
Stop! He's already dead.
Which is great for me because I got more trips to fund. But I cannot believe that we are still digging up new information almost a year after we originally called this out.
Akaash only dates brown. Akaash has been with one girl in his life who is his wife.
That's my wife. That's an Indian woman.
So this is like loyal through and through.
Okay.
Sometimes I get so painfully nostalgic for college. So I was popping my pussy and living my best life in these white boy frat houses.
I'm actively trying to have an orgy because, and you haven't seen Nav yet, but wait till you fucking see him. His body goes crazy. What? His face card always slays, never declines. What? And it's kind of weird because I'm talking about your husband. I just know that Nav's dick is like at least 10 inches.
And once again, the internet remains undefeated because even after everything has already been uncovered, people are still finding new details that continue to expose the simp in chief and the harpy in command. So today, we're going to break down even further how Jizzling the Jezebel has allegedly been the hurricane that tore down Akaash Singh's relationship with his former best friend, Andrew Schultz. And mind you, Andrew is a major reason, if not the reason, that Akaash even reached the position that he is in today. The same position that helped fund all of those Chanel bags in his wife's arsenal. So let's go ahead and go to the channel American Redact for the update and break it down to the molecules. Without further ado.
With your wife, someone called her a gold digger or something?
Oh, it was a whole thing online. So
it was a big thing.
Yeah, there's this community of people online who don't really like women, and it's like their whole identity is women are awful. And then my wife is like me. She says crazy things. I don't care what she says. They're all jokes. I know it. And we don't get offended by jokes.
How do you and your husband split finances?
We don't. This is not a two-way street. This is a one-way street. His money is our money, and my money is my money.
Alright, so it's been around 2 months since Akaash Singh officially quit the Flagrant podcast that he co-hosted with Andrew Schultz, and ever since then, it's beginning to seem like quitting Flagrant wasn't really his decision in the first place. Like a lot of people think his wife, Jasleen, was actually the one who ultimately convinced or outright pressured him to walk away from the show.
Yeah.
Because after she humiliated him in front of the entire world last year, she's now claiming that she was digitally SA'd by everyone who criticized her for being a terrible wife, which is obviously absurd because the majority of people online were simply just reacting to what she put online herself. Like she was really the only reason that that whole situation went extremely viral.
Notice when asked how Akaash minimizes the entire situation to men that hate women. Meanwhile, it was literally every sector of the internet, right? Like if that's your argument, and I disagree with him, but if that's his argument, literally every sector. I saw gym bros reacting to this shit. I saw comedians reacting to this shit, right? Are you trying to say that everybody just hates women? Or could it be that we're spotting a Jezebel queen destroyer in the flesh? But I agree with the commentator, and I even think it's speculation at this point, for her degree of manipulation is such that she will create an environment for him to choose to leave the podcast.
My wife, Naomi, the Duchess of Bay Ridge, Brooklyn, a former model of...
More reason to come back.
As opposed to the other states.
Mind you, she just posted that. Now, let me ask you, is her behavior synonymous of someone who deserves a $100,000 plus extravagant Indian traditional wedding? Or is this somebody who put in white boy frat houses on her leisure time. What these double standard demons will convince a simp-minded, weak young man to do for them in lieu of the data or the truth is beyond me. But let's proceed.
My wife also hadn't had any sexual partners, so that helped us connect a lot more.
Now, let me ask you this. Do you believe her?
No! What if you could copy the exact system that I use to generate between $50,000 and $100,000 a month purely from posting commentary content online? My life right now consists of no boss, no commute, no alarm, and I work when I want. And I've spent the past 8 years building this framework out from scratch. And 1 million subscribers later, over 400 million lifetime views, and I've never once talked about exactly how I do it. Until now. Now, my system is called Viral to Value, and it's the step-by-step blueprint that I personally use every single day to turn viral moments into real, life-changing income in any niche. If you're ready to stop guessing and start building something that is actually yours, click the link below and let's get to work. Right.
I was popping my pussy and living my best life in these white boy frat houses, and I had a roster of guys that I would rotate through.
So she essentially threw her famous comedian husband under the rug in a lousy attempt to become a social media star. Then when she received backlash for that, she called everyone racist and misogynistic, then forced Akaash Singh to quit the Flagrant podcast, which was literally the only thing that made him famous in the first place.
As I'm sure you guys are aware, our boy Akaash, he really went through it earlier this year. The experience has put things in perspective for him.
This is weird.
And he has made the decision to focus all of his energy on stand-up. He is going to be stepping away from the pod. It is bittersweet. You know, we wish that he did not want to do that.
So now, fast forward to today, and it honestly seems like this guy is just spiraling out of control, both mentally and physically. Because after quitting the podcast, he essentially went into hiding and only emerged for the comedy sets he did on tour. But just recently, he actually showed face to promote some of his tour dates, and sadly enough, it appears that he may be Bert Kreischerifying himself in real time. I mean, he just looks drastically different.
He does.
And a lot of people online speculate that he may be heavily drinking, eating, or both to cope with the fact that he quit one of the largest, most successful comedy podcasts in the world. All because his wife told him to. So,
I mean, this is exactly what happens when you don't have a spine, you don't get a prenup, and you believe her bullshit. Now he's trapped in his own mind, trying to convince himself that he still has to protect his wife, even while the situation is ever more damaging to him. And at this point, he might just have to just take the L, divorce her, and lose whatever he has to lose and rebuild from there. Because honestly, he can probably earn all of that money back, but he has the anchor of bullshit he just can't seem to get rid of. But it's wild to watch just in a couple of months, even how his face has transitioned under the weight of all of the stress. This is the weight of stress, maybe drugs, maybe alcohol, maybe overeating, in order to compensate for what he's feeling right now. But inevitably, this is the weight of happy wife, happy life.
Jaslene Singh might just be one of the biggest gaslighters the world's ever seen.
Big true.
I mean, she even got Akaash to unfollow Andrew Schulz on Instagram recently. Like, that's how much she's convinced him into believing that Schulz and everyone criticizing her is in the wrong. And a lot of people attribute that unfollowing to the Charlemagne and Andrew Schulz podcast that they did together, where they joked about never letting your wife on the internet after you're already killing it on there.
Keep your wife off the internet.
Why does your wife have a microphone in her face? Do not allow your wife to start a motherfucking podcast, bro.
Yes.
Okay, there can be one entertainer in this family, and it shall be me.
But that little clip isn't the sole reason why Akaash unfollowed Andrew Schulz on IG, quit Flagrant, and didn't even have the decency to show up for a final farewell podcast to close that chapter. In fact, Andrew Schulz and Akaash Singh's wife have actually had a long history of tension between each other. Like, Jaslene hasn't liked Andrew Schulz for a very long time. And I believe she just used that clip as justification for her husband to finally cut ties with his longtime friend and coworker, who, might I just add, was there there years before Akaash ever even met Jasleen. I mean, Akaash Singh and Andrew Schulz became friends way before either of them even tasted a lick of success in the comedy world. So when Akaash met Jasleen like 6 or 7 years after becoming friends with Schulz, Schulz pretty much just kept it real with Akaash whenever Jasleen stepped out of line. But being the succubus that Jasleen is, she's always just resorted to painting Andrew Schulz as the enemy. She even told Akaash that Andrew wasn't going to be invited to their big Indian wedding back in 2019,
I didn't know
which
this.
caught Andrew completely by surprise when Akaash broke the news to him.
If there's a power,
Your girl might not get invited to the wedding.
Yeah, like yo, fam, if you didn't invite me to a wedding, I would be.
I gotta
pissed.
fight for this invite, dog.
Son, you realize that your mom would have to call me on some shit? Yo, real talk. If you didn't invite me to, like, your girl shouldn't be at the wedding before me. Like, when you really think about it, like, why is it? I got more of a place at the wedding than your girl.
Why is that?
I know you longer.
And did more for him.
Yo, dead ass. You think I won't be at the wedding?
Dog.
You're gonna be at the wedding.
But like, how much of a problem?
I'm
will it
gonna
be?
have to fight for you. I'm gonna have to be like, look, this is a really good friend. Like, you've been very helpful in my career. And she's gonna be like, he's an asshole. Why do you have to be at the wedding?
Hold on. It's even a discussion that I might not be at the wedding.
It probably will be. I ain't proposed yet, but
Son,
it probably
think
will
about
be.
it. Think about it. If you're at
Yo,
all
I think
the
we got to
friends-
rethink this proposal, fam. I don't know if she's the one, bro. You think she's the one for us?
Shout out to Andrew, and I know a lot of my guys that are down up in the comment section right now are thinking about guy friends that they had in their life. Maybe you still friends with them. Maybe you was able to salvage the relationship, but you recognize that she was a succubus. But here's the thing about succubuses. When they come into a group, a long-standing friend group, and they're looking to identify, right? Like they're playing it smart, right? Like they're uniquely manipulative. And they're checking to see the ones that have any issue and the ones that are the truth tellers, right? The ones that will stop at nothing to protect your happiness. They try their best to move you out of the situation. They try their best to manipulate you into not being their best friend anymore, or even going as far as to not being a friend with them ever again. They're playing in on your mental health and your energy. They might take a look at the situation and be like, well, why did your friend, right? Like, and start to cast doubt into the reality of him being a good friend to you. That's what they do. They'll try to separate because they don't want you communicating with the friends that keep it the realest, because those are the ones that'll keep it real about her. The more impact that they have in their life, the less likely that she can control you. For she knows that you're so wrapped up into her that you cannot control your damn self. Listening to Andrew react in that way while they're trying to make jokes out of it, you could tell he was being real. This was his ride or die. And in fact, all of those pictures that we just saw of them in flagrant is from the unity of the asset of collaboration that they made together. Joe Rogan and shit like that. What has she done for him? She's not been an asset within his life, strictly a liability, strictly pulling from him, while Andrew has put him in places through their collaboration that has brought him up.
Didn't want Akaash's longtime best friend to be invited to their wedding, then Andrew must have done something extremely out of hand to land himself in that position, right? But after doing some digging, it turns out that Jasleen's just a really petty, sensitive person who doesn't ever know when she's actually in the wrong. Like, I'm pretty sure the only reason she didn't like Andrew Schulz back then was because of a handful of slightly negative things Andrew Schulz said to her. Like, for example, the time when she was doing homework for her college classes in the middle of the flagrant studio right before they shot an episode. Apparently, she was really offended when Andrew asked her to leave. So much so that Andrew and Akaash spent like 20 minutes back then having a pretty heated argument over it.
Why am I in shit? That was rude? Was that rude?
Yes.
How was that rude, Akaash? Yeah.
Kind of rude.
Watch Akaash's body language.
Why was it rude?
It's kind of rude. It's his
Was it
lady,
rude?
bro.
Akash, was it rude?
I don't care. I'll deal with it when I get home. I won't. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, you should leave it in. You should start right
Hold
now.
on, hold on,
Henpecked.
hold on.
It's a little rude.
Hold on. Hold on, hold
don't
on.
leave it in.
Before we start, because we already started, but was that rude? Was that rude? First of all, something that I learned today that I had only heard in rumors prior was that Akaash's girl does not like young Hezzy.
Really?
At all.
Really?
I mean,
I felt a vibe.
I don't
No,
blame
she
her.
don't like you.
Oh my God.
No, she don't like you.
Why? Why is that?
And I even gave Akaash like a little fake ass compliment. Like, remember when they were doing a podcast, and I was like, man, he waited for you. Like, I've been trying to whatever. You know how you try to pick, promote your boy.
Yeah.
When she don't like you, ain't no bring it up.
Hey, bro, feelings mutual. For there.
I
But wait,
felt the
was that
vibes.
rude when I just said we'll wait for Akaash's girl? I said we'll wait as long as she needed. We'll wait.
You didn't say it like that.
That's not how you said it.
But that's how I meant. How'd it come out?
Like get
All right,
out.
we'll wait.
Get the gas.
It was like, all right, we'll wait.
That's the I will wait plus the pause.
Like an
But you
annoyed,
was like,
I'll
I will
wait.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
In my head, I'm always like, am I being a bitch if I think this is I don't want to be no whipped at. And I was like, she probably upset by that, and I could see how, but.
But on another level, it's like homework is for home. You know what I mean?
I mean, not to play devil's advocate, but we've definitely had people here during taping plenty of times.
Doing it with her
And
here.
it's
I know
never-
she hates me. We just gonna have me in the back of the room. Like, come on, bro.
That would have been great content.
Yeah.
And of course, back then, a lot of people were taking Akaash and Jaslene's side, since Andrew Schultz did come across as pretty insufferable in that podcast, as he always does. But as bossy and as annoying as Schultz may be, guys, knowing everything we know about Jasleen today, this just seems super blown out of proportion.
Well, the background behind that is that they already had a history. Akaash was already with her for a couple of months, if not a year already. So Andrew and her already interacted. Andrew's response there is, after already identifying the type of young lady that she is and already have a preconceived notion based off of the times that they've interacted before. So it was a powder keg waiting to bust. But guess what? Their whole brand is around flagrant, is around saying things offensive, pushing the line, joking in ways that normal people just may not like, right? But you got to have tough skin in that environment. And if they were trying to create an environment, one of which she's over here doing homework, meanwhile, Andrew knows that her presence changes not only the dynamic in the room, but also how flagrant, for lack of a better term, that Akaash will speak about different subjects, that he might have felt a certain type of way. I mean, even watching how Akaash's body language was so weird and pensive and not laughing through this whole interaction demonstrates exactly what Andrew was probably trying to remove from the situation. All right, let's keep going.
I think that this was the only reason why Jasleen didn't want Andrew Schultz to be at their huge wedding is actually insane to think about. And it kind of explains everything you see in her character nowadays too. Anyways, Schultz ended up apologizing to Jasleen Singh over dinner, and then he got the invite to the wedding,
So
which
we had
really
to
just shows you the
apologize.
length that Jasleen's willing to drag things out. And this whole situation really just foreshadows what we're seeing with Akaash nowadays.
Yo, can we say something? Akaash and Akaash's wifey and me were on much better terms.
Yes, absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
We had dinner. We had dinner.
Schultz is great. He was great.
I love to hear
He
it.
was
I love to see
super-
it.
What I say immediately off the jump.
I'm sorry.
Good,
Oh, okay.
good
Yeah.
man.
Good.
Good
It was
man.
a
Walked
very
up, no confrontation,
no.
nothing.
It was very dope of him to do.
As stupid as I apologize profusely, and I said, I didn't want to create any tension, and I said, and
That's
this is
what
a
good
public
friends
apology,
do.
Jasleen. I'm sorry, but what I said was, I think sometimes my, this kind of crazy persona is a little bit more digestible once you know me.
Once you get to know,
And I didn't put in that time to get
she
to
didn't
know
know
her.
you. It was a little wild.
Everything,
now
everything
she
with
knows,
you
bro.
comes with context.
You got
That's what I always
exactly,
tell people.
bro. I'm not good on print.
So now that you know that there's some history with Jasleen and Andrew Schultz, when you fast forward to today, it's hard to believe that she wasn't the one who pushed Akaash into quitting Flagrant. I mean, she even posted a story about Akaash and Andrew's friendship after everything happened, and it honestly seemed like she was just celebrating the fact that she was the one to split that up. Like, that is how narcissistic and delusional this vile woman truly is. Like, she really just gaslit Akaash into believing that his longtime best friend was backstabbing him. So he quit the podcast because of that, and is consuming God knows what now to bury that deep down inside of him. I mean, he's essentially being suppressed by his master here. Then on top of that, she's now apparently still trying to become some kind of influencer, I guess, as she just signed to a talent agency, which she of course is bragging on and on about on her Instagram page.
Well, well, well. So to all the people that didn't believe in me and didn't think I could provide anything, I just had my 3rd call with an agency today. I think it's safe to say your girl is gonna start making money soon.
Rich.
The tables have turned, so what are you gonna do for me now that I'm making money?
Wow.
So by the way she's talking here, it really just seems like she thinks that she's going to be bringing home as much money as Akaash is now, just because she signed a deal with a talent agency.
How delusional can you be? At the end of the day, right, like all of the attention that she currently gets is off of this drama. She wasn't getting attention like that, or off of the husband's connections. Not because people actually like who she is or like her deep thoughts in life, or she's someone to pay attention to. She comes off annoying, pretentious, entitled with this main character energy shit with very little substance to say something of meaning and or value. The content is like just shock value through shitting on her husband and like these personal stories where she paints herself as like a feminist, sexually liberated girl boss and oversharing things that nobody wanted to hear. People are more interested in watching how she's ruining her husband's life than actually listening to her speak. That's why her platform doesn't grow.
Which in reality most likely won't amount to anything, since the virality and success that she so desperately wants sort of requires her to have at least one kind of interesting or redeeming quality in her content.
Yes.
So you just know that this won't really amount to much, because her content just consists of her burning through her husband's money, and of course her just milking the drama she put her husband through 7 months ago, since that's quite literally the biggest thing that has and will ever happen to her in the media.
You know, like, people always ask me, like, how are you so unaffected by, like, all these think pieces about you? Because it all sounds so fucking dumb to me. What my real issue is like, why do these people, when they talk about me, they get, like, 10x their normal views?
Yep. That's
but when
what I'm saying.
talk, and I'm me, I'm talking.
Yep.
I don't.
Look, after
I just explained it to you if you ever watch this. I just explained it to you. They're more interested in watching the downfall of your now husband that you caused. Nobody caused it. People aren't talking about you because they're racist. People aren't talking about you because they're sexist or whatever you're doing to escape accountability and deflect from your behavior and your actions that are destroying your husband to where now he looks like this. But to simply ignore all of this and to continue to pursue a career in the spotlight while reducing your husband's career in the spotlight is a level of insane that we need scientific studies in regards to this.
Everything she's put Akaash through, her main goal in life is still to become the biggest female podcaster in the world.
Whatever you want,
which
honey.
I guess has been a goal of hers for a really long time. Like there was this one time on Flagrant over 2 years ago where Akaash tried to promote her page on Flagrant, and her content was so awful that the whole promotion just seemed pretty sad.
All right,
I mean, think about women like Akaash's wife, who are constantly on TikTok.
Oh, this is another thing. If we make Akaash's wife, we were talking about this. This is my goal now in life. I didn't know that Akaash's wife was like a serious influencer.
Yeah,
she's like a big fucking deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
I watch hours of her TikTok.
So here's the thing. I didn't know this. Now that I know that she is like an influencer on
To
TikTok.
hurt my feelings, I've literally sent a video. Remember she made it on Fox News? I
I
sent it
don't
to the
watch
Flagrant group,
that.
and you didn't pay attention. You paid no attention, and that hurt my feelings. that really hurt me. Bro, this guy's thoughtless.
You know what hurt me?
I resent him.
You know what hurt me?
I resent him.
When you send me a video of your wife. That's what hurt me. When you know that I have other shit to do, and you're like, watch my wife talk about this shit. That was the insulting thing.
I hate you.
Okay.
Like here you've got 4 uber successful millionaire comedians talking about the world's current events.
And you have Andrew massaging his friend's ego through propagating or promotion of his wife's TikTok. This is so disgusting. But this is what happens when you were friends with your boy and you're like, well, shit, either I have to give in or I'm going to lose my boy. This is what happens. You find yourself having him sending you, now you have to watch. Now you got to act like you didn't see it because it was probably trash and ass at the same time. And then when they bring it up in conversation, yeah, because she's kind of like a big deal, right? What? This is what happens.
And then everything just gets derailed when Akaash tries to plug his bored wife's lousy social media videos.
I hate
that. And you know what I'm going to do with that hate? I'm going to make sure, and listen, I say this to all the Flagrant listeners out there, the Flagrant viewers, please, I beg of you, we need to make, what is her TikTok?
Just lean with it. JASLEEN.
Just lean with it. We need to make, just lean with it, rock with it. We need to make her the biggest TikTok superstar on
I
the
love
planet.
this.
Okay.
You guys saw this one, her imitating me, right?
My mom has the biggest titties.
This is so crazy.
All right, bitch. Shut the fuck up. Sit the fuck down, bitch.
This is actually good, dude.
No, it's not.
Are you Gujarati? You cheap little bitch. Are you Punjabi? You dumb fucking bitch. Are you Malu? You dark bitch.
It's me, dude. It's me.
I'm just like saying what he would say. I don't say
It's
that.
me, dude. It's
Look at me. I'm Akaash. I can't sleep. I'm so tired.
That's good. Yo, we got to, hey, just lean with it. We need to make that the biggest TikTok account in the world. I just want to
Oh
see.
my gosh.
If you
This
thought
is
you weren't sleeping now,
horrible.
wait till your wife is making more money.
So yeah, I mean, this whole disaster is quite possibly the biggest L of Akaash's career. And what's even sadder is that it's not even his own fault. Like, this is just a tale as old as time. Like, Akaash has never had success with women in his entire life, and then he finally strikes gold and becomes rich and famous with Andrew Schultz. Then he meets some random woman that he thinks is out of his league, and then she controls his entire life. Meanwhile, this entire time, Akaash has never even realized that he's actually completely out of her league. But either way, this whole thing's pretty depressing for old Akaash
Shout
here.
out to the
I mean, he
commentator.
can't do anything these days without even being reminded of his great humiliation ritual of 2025.
Or no, at the beginning of every show, I try to say, hey, if something I say like offended you, or you feel like I went too far, or if you just don't want to be talked to, just give me this motion and I'll move on. Because I'm 5'7" and I know this. I can't fight. So like, I don't need to be just mean to be mean. So like, I don't want to just like.
You don't want a Will Smith coming out.
Yeah. I'm a prime candidate to get slapped. I'm a very slappable guy.
With that being said though, guys, I don't believe all hope's lost for Akaash Singh. I mean, all things considered, this guy is still killing it in comedy. And now that he has nothing to do but that, I do believe that the sky's the limit for him. Because as you likely know by now, there are a lot of people in the world from India. So it's actually a pretty smart move to just dial in on becoming huge with the Indian demographic.
True. I wonder for all my Indian brothers over here in the West, like, what is this? What do y'all think about this? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do y'all think about this? I mean, golly, like, y'all already be suffering as much as it is all my Asian American brothers. You know what I'm saying? You guys, with my Indian American brothers, you guys be. This don't help. You know what I'm saying? Is what I'm trying to say. Like, the branding of masculine, the branding of not putting up on a pedestal, simp, weak. Right? He not doing y'all much favors is what I'm trying to say, okay? And I've wavered back and forth, right, with feeling sorry for him, feeling pathetic for him, right? Like a degree of empathy, right? Like, and then also just being hard on him, right? And not giving him a pass, right? With all of the content that is currently available that will teach men how to avoid this very exact same situation, he still ignored all of the warnings and pushed away the same men who was in the mud with him before to get anywhere in life. This is something that he has brought up on himself. And honestly, it's tough to see it play out like this so publicly. But this is why we keep on covering it, to continue to push into y'all minds the importance of selecting correctly before you in your life become a lesson like an Akaash. Let's see if there's anything else.
Like, it's a well-known fact in comedy that comics who have tapped into the Indian audience can easily sell out arenas consistently.
Okay.
In fact, it seems so easy to do that some comics have even considered it as sort of a hack.
Birds doing arenas.
I met a guy.
Birds
I met
doing
an
arenas.
Indian kid outside New York Comedy Club. And he's
Indian
like,
kids will do something.
And I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, what are you doing in town?" He goes, "Doing comedy." He's like, "Oh, that's cool, man. What are you playing?" And he goes, "MSG."
That doesn't count.
I was like, "What?"
Indians don't count.
Congratulations. Indians don't count. Indians count as
Oh,
much
they
as
support
Christian
their
movies
own.
counts in the box office.
Yeah.
Like, you'd be top 10 every time.
They're
remove.
Marvel. That's hilarious.
So whether
That's
leaving
interesting.
Flagrant ends up being the best decision Akaash has ever made, or the biggest mistake of his career, I guess only time will tell. Right now, though, it's hard to ignore just how different everything looks compared to a year ago. Like, he went from being half of one of the biggest comedy podcasts in the world to disappearing from the internet almost entirely. And as of right now, it doesn't seem like he's taking it very well. Who knows, though? Maybe things will change for him in the future. But anyways, that is pretty much it. Make sure to like and
Man.
subscribe to the channel.
Great content. Shout out again to American Redact. Yeah, I think he nailed a lot of these points. I wasn't aware of the no wedding command from Ghislaine the Destroyer. And I think that it makes sense. And I think it gives us further ammunition to talk about kind of the strategy that can get deployed when they're trying to separate you from the boys. They're trying to separate you from the group because they don't want additional influences within your life that will not allow her to just roam free. Even within that content, what they played on here of what is her being funny as Akaash is like, see, look, guys, she's funny. That's me. That's me. Is that it was about Akaash, further demonstrating that the talent is just not there. Show me actually funny shit. Show me actually talented shit. Show me something else besides her talking about, hey, co-host, can I have a threesome with you and your husband? Show me something else besides that. Or talking about stories of how she convinced dudes in her rotation to lick it from the back while she was on a period, right? Like, show me something else than that, okay? But inevitably, a talent agency, right? Like, she's been in the media now for like, damn near a year at this current junction. And they're probably just like, well, we can make a couple of ducats off of her, right? Like, and they don't care. They'll sign your name on a dotted line. And if you get to book anything, they make money off of it, right? Like, it's not a big deal for them, okay? But I think inevitably, right? Like, if we were to wrap this back into lessons, right? Like, as a man, you got to do everything in your power to know the difference between when she adds peace to your life, she is an asset to your life, versus a young lady who job it is to ruin your life. The wrong woman will destroy you overnight. She will isolate you from the boys slowly but surely. She will make you question the boys slowly and surely. Your boys, the brothers, she'll make you question your own family. She'll make you question and gaslight you out of your own judgment and will stop at nothing to blame everything around her to substantiate her bullshit. And that's exactly what happened to Akaash Singh. One more time. Ooh, that is a mean frame right there. Anyway, I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Guys, let me know what you think about this new development within this whole saga. It is tough to see this young man spiraling in the way that he currently is, but we got to continue on having conversations about it because it continues to inform us of how we should proactively move throughout our life. All right? I'll leave a link to the original down in the description box down below. Guys, viraltovalue.com, my commentary system. Click the link down below, beam up, whole website with a video, as well as a whole website to describe exactly what it is that you can copy from me to enrich your own online content journey, all right? But I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Stay abundantly safe out there. Protect yourself at all times, and I will see you relatively soon. Until next time, y'all. Peace.
You is ratchet as they come. Rainbow weaves and batwing lashes, weighing more than a man. What time is your football practice? I bet you can hit that A gift like a mug. How you big back it? Said a man must buy you gifts. Where here goes a Fitbit tracker? Are you mad? Cause you got 3 kids by 4 different dads. You pick cookies, then you bash. Oh man, when you get sad.